Hey, we are talking about federal drug charges today. I'm with Houston Criminal Defense Attorneys, PLLC. My name is Brian Foley, and I'm the managing partner here. Some things that separate a federal drug charge from a state drug charge, and there's quite a few things here, but we're going to go over these three right now. First is the surveillance operations. So, a state level drug case often occurs because somebody got pulled over in a vehicle, they were speeding, there were drugs in the car, something like that. And the only time the feds are going to get involved in something like that is if there was like 1, maybe even 2 kilos of drugs, or if it was cocaine or methamphetamine, something like that, that they find in the vehicle. That's called a reactive case. The police didn't go looking for the case, they just found it. And the federal government and the prosecutors at the United States Attorney's Office typically don't handle those kind of cases. They do from time to time, but most of the time they're doing a proactive case where they are conducting surveillance operations on a certain area with pole cameras. These are publicly placed cameras that monitor the traffic in and out of a house or something like that they believe where drug sales are happening. They may engage in wiretapping. They have federal wiretapping laws that they would have to get a very significant warrant in order to do that. They're going to try to have recorded phone calls with the people who were involved. There's a lot of work that goes into these cases, and consequently a lot of evidence, and then a larger punishment range normally. They may even do controlled drug purchases where they have an informant or an undercover police officer engage in buying drugs from the person that they are targeting. Another big difference is that the federal cases are not going to happen in the regular state courts. They're going to be held in separate federal courthouses. For Houston, you've got the Bob Casey United States Courthouse located at 515 Rusk Avenue in Houston, Texas. They're going to have members of the community come in and serve as jurors in these kind of cases down at this courthouse. But the community, with respect to this, is actually going to be the entirety of the Southern District of Texas, and not just the people in Harris County like you would for a case in the state court. And then lastly, let's look at a few other reasons why a federal case is a little bit different than a state case. You have mandatory minimums. Now, in state cases, they have mandatory minimums as well, but not unless you've been to prison quite a few times or have a very large amount of drugs in that case. But even for first time offenders, there may be sentences that start at a few years in a federal case. You can have enhancements just based on the conduct, like the use of a weapon or the scale of the operation or selling to minors. All of those can increase penalties. And then also, federal cases could result in the seizure of assets linked to the drug sales, things like that. If you have a fancy car or property that was purchased with money that they believe was obtained illegally, they could have seized these assets, and that's also part of a federal case. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Remember, all these videos are for educational purposes, and we'll see you next time.